Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sonic Chronicle. My name is Owen. Before we do anything, do not adjust your sets. As you can see, I am here. I just have a camera pointed at my monitor. Why, you might ask? Well, because today I'm doing something a little bit different. Over the holiday period, I was gifted this lovely, oh, if I can get in frame, this lovely calendar of the art of rock covers that we can see here. And in order for me to kind of show you this, I didn't want to kind of like have myself on camera too much. I just wanted to do something a little bit less formal. And because we're a little bit into January now, we're going to look at a couple of these covers of albums together. First things first, as we open up this lovely calendar, we have this lovely quote from Jack White here, saying that vinyl is the real deal. I've always felt like until you buy the vinyl record, you don't really own the album. Ooh, if I can get that in there. Really own the album. And it's not just me or a little pet thing or some kind of retro romantic thing from the past. It is still alive. And that is true. Vinyl is very much alive. Big resurgence in the past couple of years due to people like Taylor Swift and Harry Styles as well. In fact, during the pandemic, it was very difficult to get a hold of vinyl for smaller artists because Harry and Taylor were selling so well. First one that we come across here is this one that's a pretty nondescript, looks like a compilation album. Various artists, it says down here in the bottom right corner, Rockbuster, CBS Records, 1970. So this is, as I said, looks like a compilation album. I did a little Google of this already in advance because this is the only, well, I looked at two of these at the front, so let's be clear about stuff. But I did a quick Google here, and we can see that we've got this one here, and it's actually a really cool gatefold of Arnold Schwarzenegger on the cover. And as you scroll down, you can see as you open it up, we've got this beautiful view of the track listing and artist listing, and then on the other side of the gatefold, you've got the Rockbuster part there. As we scroll down here, we can see that we've got a track listing here as well. So it's got people like Don and Dewey. So this is like super old. It's from from 1970. So this is 54 years old. So it's pretty old. We've got Santana on here with Black Magic Woman, The Byrds, Bob Dylan. We've got Spirit, Mr. Skin. So yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff. Skid Row, an awful lot of Woman, Edgar Winter, Tobacco Road. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting to have that on there as the first one for January 1st. A bold move to go with a compilation album. As we flick over to the next page, we can see that we've got the absolute classic album, Fleetwood Mac Rumours. People should be able to recognize that one from 100 Paces. It is an unbelievable album. Features the classics, Go Your Own Way. I believe Rhiannon is on there. And what else has got? Dreams is on there as well, I believe. Unbelievable album. The beauty of this little calendar here as well is that it's got that little Spotify code in the bottom right corner here as well. I don't know if you'll be able to make that out too well on the video, but it's there. If you're able to make it out, then it'll bring it directly to that record. So that's Rumours from 1977. Very controversial album in terms of its recording. A lot of the members of Fleetwood Mac had fallen out with one another due to in-band, I suppose, relationships going awry. Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham in particular, from what I recall. Heartbreaking for Lindsey, or for Stevie to have to sing on Go Your Own Way in particular. Pretty awful stuff. Next we have an interesting one. Stephen Stills, Thoroughfare Gap. That is an album cover and a half. So that was January 3rd, 1945. I presume that's when the picture was taken or something along those lines. But Stephen Stills' Thoroughfare Gap from CBS Records, 1978. So this is presumably Crosby, Stills and Nash. Stephen Stills of Crosby, Stills and Nash. Let's take a quick look. So Thoroughfare Gap is the fifth studio album by American singer-songwriter Stephen Stills, released in 1978. Critical and commercial disappointment, but only charted at number 84 in the US. The album is now available as a 3-album set on 2 CDs with Stills and Illegal Stills, having never been released on its own on CD. Let's take a quick look here. Stephen Stills, singer-songwriter, best known for his work with Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills and Nash. And then presumably Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. So yeah, that's an interesting one. That's one that I'll have to give a listen to at some stage, because I do enjoy the music of Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young as well. Neil Young was a great addition to that trio as well. Next album cover then is Cavian 4813. Great name for an album. Very stark album cover as well. I don't know if you can make that out very well. This is from 2014. This is all of the track times, how long every track on the album is, by the looks of things. Very clever, very interesting album cover. I like it a lot. As I said, quite stark, quite striking in terms of the colours selected first of all, and then in terms of just having the numbers on there. Clever lads. In particular, more recently than they were, I suppose, in the sense that they kicked someone out of the band, which is great. Saw them. I watched their performance at Glastonbury last summer. They were probably the highlight for me in terms of everything that I saw. Really, really good. Next up, coming up to the 5th of January, the Grateful Dead, Blues for Allah. Grateful Dead are one of those bands, like obviously Jerry Garcia, the big proponent of that band. Grateful Dead are one of those bands that I never really gelled with, I never really clocked with. I'm not really big into the big jam bands. Don't have much to say about this now. I haven't listened to it, but I probably won't. But it is a cool album cover. This idea of like this skeleton with all this hair playing the violin. Yeah, it's Blues for Allah. Yeah, interesting. I'm not sure if you'd get away with the name of that record today. Overall, though, very cool. What a great album cover. Overkill, Fuck You. Atlantic Records, 1987. Overkill are a band that I've only heard of quite recently. I think that I was watching a video by Mike from The Art of Guitar, and he had a book, a bad tab book of Overkill. It wasn't this particular album, but it's very entertaining. Mike is a great content creator. I love watching his videos. Very talented musician, very talented guitarist. If you haven't heard of him and you haven't given him any love, please do so, and tell him I sent you or whatever. But yes, Overkill, Fuck You. I should listen to some Overkill because some of the stuff that I heard on that video was really, really cool, really interesting stuff. Quite aggressive, as the name would suggest, as the album name would suggest. But you're not going to forget that album cover. You know what I mean? Like you see that in a record shop, that's going to jump out at you. You're going to go, all right, yeah, I'll bite. Next we have Sonic Youth. Now there's a band that's underrated. I quite like Sonic Youth, and this is their album Dirty. Now I haven't listened to this particular album, but any time that I've listened to Sonic Youth, I've thought, yeah, all right, yeah, maybe I'll go back and listen to some of this stuff. And sadly, I never have. But yeah, they're that band that were kind of on the outskirts of grunge. I kind of put them up there with like Dinosaur Jr. in terms of their addition to music and that movement in particular, and I suppose that the lack of appreciation or the lack of acknowledgement for them. They're still around to this day. I believe they're still making music, which is no mean feat. Fair play to them for doing that. But yeah, that is Sonic Youth. That is Dirty, and maybe I will give that one a listen as well. Okay, and that is the first week of January done. In this particular video, and maybe next video we will do another week. Now I will do another week if you like what I'm doing here, if you like this format, if this is interesting. Maybe I'll find a more distinct way or a less abrasive way of recording this in the future if people want it. But yeah, that's the first week of January. Tell me what you like out of those albums. Are there particular albums there that have jumped out at you? Maybe you're going to now jump back and go, oh, actually, Stephen Still's Thoroughfare Gap is actually a legendary album. I'm going to pull that one out of the collection and give it a spin. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if I'm missing out on anything. But if you like this kind of video, if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, please do subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments, as I said. And of course, for now, though, we will leave it there, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.